Hey everybody, this is Photo Teen here, and today I'm going to be giving you a walkthrough of Canon's digital SLR kit lens options. Chances are, if you have a Canon digital SLR, you have the EFS mount 18x55mm lens. This lens has a plastic mount. It is only compatible on EFS mount cameras. Has a 58mm filter thread. It's completely plastic lens. Lacks your stabilizer, lacks your ultrasonic, lacks your focusing window, lacks your internal focus, lacks your manual focus override. Really, in my opinion, not a great lens other than the macro and its lightweight capabilities. Also, the lens hood, the W60C, is $24 to $27 additional, depending upon where you purchase the hood. Now, if you're fine with your 18x55mm, you just want something in your bag with a little more range, you might consider its lookalike lens, the Canon 28x90mm. Plastic mount, 58mm filter thread. Uses the same hood, so if you just wanted to swap the hood over to it, that would be fine. It lacks everything that the 18x55mm does, though. The only good thing about the 28x90 can be used on your full frames like the 5D and the 5D Mark II and your 1Ds. And it can be used on your older 35mm. Now, if you like the wider angle stuff and you want something with a little more range too, a versatile lens, you might consider the EFS mount 17x85mm IS/USM f3.5 to 5.6 lens. This lens looks just like my 28x135 that I have here. Has your manual override, your stabilizers, your zoom rings here, your 72mm filter thread, your ultrasonic focusing, focus window right here, and your metal mount. Much better lens than the 18x55mm. And again, it does look just like this one here. It's pretty large, pretty bulky, pretty heavy. Just be aware of that if you're thinking, oh well, I've got my cool little lightweight 18x55, I'm going to pick up a cool little lightweight 17x85. It is cool, but it is not little, and it is not lightweight. So keep that in mind. Okay. If you are not much on the extreme wide angle stuff, but you want a lot more range and features, you might consider the Canon EF mount 28x135mm IS/USM f3.5 to 5.6 zoom lens. Has all the features of the 17x85, and again, this does look like the 17x85, but this one has obviously 50 more millimeters of zoom, but it is lacking 11 millimeters of wide angle capabilities. This lens also requires a $40 lens hood that is not included, as does the 17x85. Sorry, I forgot to mention that. It's $40 additional for the lens hood. Now, if you're not planning on upgrading to a Canon full-frame sensor camera like the 5D or the 5D Mark II or the 1Ds, or if you don't want to use your kit lens on your 35mm cameras, if you have any, you might consider the Canon EFS mount 17x55mm f2.8 IS/USM. It's a very big lens. Has I believe a 77mm filter thread. Has your focus window, your manual override. Has your stabilizer, your ultrasonic focus motor, your internal focus, and the f2.8 constant aperture. This lens is very good for portraits and indoor stuff, and maybe even some architectural work if you're at somewhat of a distance. 17 really isn't all that wide. Quite frankly, if you're doing architectural, you might look into the EFS 10x22 or the Sigma 10x20 HSM. So those are your four main Canon kit lenses. If you are staying with EF mount cameras or even your EFS capable cameras, you might look at the Canon EF mount 24x105mm f4L IS/USM lens. This is one of the best lenses I've ever used. It's got a good solid build, metal mount, focus window, manual override, stabilizer, ultrasonic, f4 constant aperture, internal focus, the L series apochromatic bending glass elements, or the additional bending glass elements. Really awesome lens. Highly recommend it if you want to be able to use it on your full frames and your 35mm along with your digital SLRs that are APS-C size sensor. That lens though is about $1,200. Well, no, actually it's about $1,000. So quite frankly, it's the best option of the Canon kit lenses if you have the money. If you don't, I recommend getting this one, the 28-135mm. Then again, you could be content with your 18-55 or your 28-90. Solely up to you. So if you like your standard zooms that don't need the features and the large apertures, stick with your 18-55 and 28-90. If you need more range with the features, go with your 28-135 with a look-alike 17-85. If you want an open constant aperture and you aren't planning on using a full frame camera, go with the 17-55 2.8 EFS. If you want the best of Canon's kits, although it does not get as wide and it does not zoom as far and it does not have a 2.8 aperture, go with the Canon 24x105 f4L ISU-SM lens. So that's your walkthrough of the Canon EF and EFS mount digital SLR kit lenses. I hope this has helped you. I hope this has cleared up any confusion. And once again, this has been a Photo Team production. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe and comment.